Good evening and welcome to Options Tender. It is Tuesday, 2/14. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Look, the market is weak. It's being held up by two or three stocks. It's not healthy. So I just want to point that out before we get into our analysis. ES, we're going to do on multiple time frames. We're going to go down to the 65. Check out the Elliott wave count, and then in the end, we want to check out Netflix and why we took a short on Netflix today. So stick around for that. And if you're new here, go down to that bottom right-hand corner, hit that Options Tender logo, and subscribe. And please don't forget to like the videos. Appreciate you. And let's dive into it. All right. We have ES on the monthly time frame. We're in the same predicament. We oscillate back and forth right above this consolidation area. We haven't backed down into it. We're in between the 8 EMA and the 20 simple moving average. So until we squeeze out of there, nothing's happening. We don't have a direction yet. All right. On the weekly. On this weekly time frame, you notice we fell out of that ascending wedge. We're making lower highs and lower lows. We eked out another high right here, so that kind of firms up a more bullish scenario, but I'm still bearish on the market. And we have this 4,200 area that's really creating a tough resistance to the market. So getting above this, you can kind of think of yourself as going long there and putting your back against it, but I just can't. I can't find myself more than a day trade going long. You can't swing this market from this point. We're right at resistance. We're rejecting off of it, and maybe we're just passing time until this 8 EMA on the weekly starts moving up. It's possible, and you see the 20 is starting to curl up. So these things are. I get it. These things are firming up. And there will be a time when I say, hey, let's go long. Now, on the MACD, we're getting into a downtrend area, just notable. RSI, just in this, slightly above. But just kind of making, if I move this line around a little bit, just kind of like almost like a bear flag type action. Oscillating back and forth in this, in this range. Enough said here. So on this daily time frame, trend is our friend. They say if trend is our friend, why are we fighting it? Well, we're not really fighting the uptrend. Okay, I see that this is in a lower time frame uptrend, but we're in a higher time frame downtrend. So you have to be very aware of that. And we have our back against this 4,200 area, so we constantly keep shorting. And one of these days, we're actually going to get a swing in, and I think that should happen pretty soon. Price is getting tight in here, and if you notice, we drew a channel, so that channel bottom would be another sell signal if we got underneath there. But in a sense, we already broke out of the wedge, and honestly, that doesn't matter because price can still go up even after it breaks out of a wedge. But if you put this line here, all we're doing is back testing that wedge. Okay, I know some are a little higher, lower. You can adjust it to whichever one you want, but being right there, it's simply just back testing that wedge, and we'll see how price goes. We're getting the MACD crossover, so that's a bear crossover there. And if price does eke up to the upside, I do think we'll have bearish divergence, and then we'll have more of a chance to short again. Okay, so check that out. Histogram getting a little bit longer there. All right, let's go to 65. On the 65-minute chart, here's our uptrend line here. If you notice there, back tested it perfectly during the CPI numbers. Got those numbers and took a pretty sharp move to the downside, and now we're kind of bouncing. If you notice this channel, not sure how significant this is going to be as a channel, as a bull flag, but it seems to be kind of oscillating around that. When price starts oscillating around an area, I have a hard time of, making it a support resistance, but, we can technically, because of this peak here, you can adjust it a little bit. It's not fun playing those games, adjusting back and forth and things, but you got to play around with it because you got to find what works as well. So I'm just going to get this, adjust this a little bit more. I won't keep you too long. I know time is precious. And then we'll move on to, just going to adjust this a little bit. There. Okay, so we still have a bunch of points here, and we have a top there, a top there, and a top there. So we'll see how that holds into tomorrow. Price is rejecting off that area. So really important in this tightening range. We're getting tighter and tighter. So with this being 4150, that'll be 4155. That will be an important area to get over for the bulls, and we should have some sort of confirmation for the bears underneath 4100. Okay, so that's what we want to look at going into tomorrow. And then we could look at Tesla and Nvidia. Those are on the weekly. I am still short on those. They're yes, it's ripping my face off, but it's still a strong signal on the weekly for a reversal, even if price ekes out a new high. And that's rare to say, but I back checked a lot of those candles, and when they get a reversal on the weekly, they usually hold. Even if price does peak above, you usually only get wicks above it. And so on the weekly, they're very strong signals. You might get a wick above, but the next week almost always ends up underneath that last reversal candle. Okay. But importantly, Netflix. We're going to keep this one really, really simple. We had a wedge, broke down from it. There's a secondary line that kind of forms the head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke down from it, back tested. That's really common for that to happen. And this is negated if we get back above this trend line up here. Now, I won't wait till then. I'll get out of it if we break above this point. But all we're doing right now, back testing right at that happy place, the options expected move. If you're not familiar, I'll go ahead and pin that up there. Options expected move for individual stocks. I draw these in, and they're very important to where the stock usually ends up, or at least touches during the week. So we're right back at that happy place, and now I expect a movement to the downside as soon as tomorrow. So that's it, you guys. I hope all this information helps. Don't forget to hit the like button. I do put out a bunch of shorts for pre-market and things like that. So keep an eye on shorts for YouTube. They're really quick, and they show trade setups. Why we shorted QQQ today. Had a good trade on that earlier. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right. Thanks for joining us here at Option Center. Have a wonderful day.